it's both humbling and a tremendous honor for me to come back today for this dedication and to come back to this wonderful community. I think the last count, I've been to 61 countries, many cities, many towns in between, but as Jim Halberg so eloquently stated, there's nothing like coming home to Argyle, Minnesota. And God bless you all, and it's great to be here. I would like to start today by reading a letter that I've carried here the last week or so. And this letter is from the Commanding General of the 101st Airborne Division, the division that Lynn served in, that Jim served in, that my nephew Michael Bedard, who's here, served in. And the letter goes like this. The 101st Airborne Division Air Assault is truly honored to recognize the service and sacrifice of Private First Class Lynn Swanson of Alpha Company, 2nd Battalion, 501st Infantry Regiment, and his entire family, and those gathered today to support and honor our veterans. He was the epitome of a scholar, athlete, and warrior, clearly evident by the honor being bestowed upon him and the other Argyle veterans by Mayor Bob Clausen, the Argyle High Alumni Association, the Argyle American Legion Post 353 members of the community. As we memorialize his service by naming this baseball field the Lynn Swanson Memorial Ballpark, we are reminded of the intimate history of his fight for our nation's freedom and liberties. Just as important, this memorial symbolizes the impact of his loss on the entire community, even now and almost 50 years later. His gallant service during the Vietnam War as an infantryman earned him the Purple Heart, the National Defense Medal, the Vietnam Service Medal, and the Republic of Vietnam Campaign Medal. He loved his country and gave his last full measure of devotion to defend it on May 13, 1969 in Vietnam. We soldiers of today stand on the soldiers of giants whose profound sacrifices will never be forgotten. This memorial and dedication is just one visible symbol of a promise that the memory of those who have given their lives and sacrifices will never be forgotten. Air Assault, signed Andrew J. Pappas, Major General, United States Army Commander. And Dale, for you and your bride, I will have this letter for you as we finish the ceremony today. You know, as I think back to the days of Argyle, Jim talked about that baseball diamond and all the great things we did there. But as I think about the hundreds and hundreds of young men and young women that have played ball at that diamond, shagged balls, ran bases, played games, they did it because of freedom. Freedom that's earned. And a freedom that is earned by generation to generation. It's not given, it's earned. And when we hear the roll call today, we go back to World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, we understand how that freedom is passed down. Too often we take that freedom for granted, that it's just kind of here. We'll never forget, there's young men and women throughout the world today that wear our flag and wear our colors and protect and cherish and ensure that freedom continues. Sometimes I think we forget that a little bit. You know, I remember, some of the better things I remember about that ball diamond is playing Legion baseball. Red Jacobson used to park his old Plymouth by the ball diamond, and Roger Rabowski and Frank and I would put $3 above his sun visor. And he would buy 3 gallons of draft beer. And he would keep one and bury the other 2 at the old moat. And right after the ball game, you can imagine where that white and green Chevrolet of the Rabowskis headed right down to the old moat. And the good thing about it, that was win or lose. And we always laugh about that over the years. But the other thing I would tell you is that, you know, when you hear the comments and the words that freedom is not free, and that our country is protected by heroes every day, that's what we're all about as we sit here this morning. Understanding that people have been bigger than us and bigger than themselves and given their life for the freedoms that we own today. And I know there are many veterans that are in this group this morning, or this afternoon, excuse me. And any one of us could have had our name on that granite out there at the memorial. But those who do have their name on there, we respect and honor today. And we respect and honor their families and their memory. I would say whenever you drive by that memorial, slow your car down a little bit and say a silent prayer of thanks to those great men that have served our country and gave their lives. If I were a coach here, I tell you what I would do before every baseball game. I would run my guys down the right field line and take their hat off and say a silent prayer of thanks, and never forget what they gave to our country and what they gave to our community and what they gave to who we are. You know, Jim talked about Argyle being just about the center source of the universe. I'll never forget my first day, second day, I guess, going to officer candidate school in the Marine Corps. And you're brought in for an interview with your drill sergeant. And let me tell you what, he is not a nice man. And I'm going to quote this so you don't think I'm making this up. So I'm sitting down across from him, and he's staring at me like a damn bulldog, and I'm sweating, and I'm thinking, oh, what's going on here? He goes, where are you from? I said, I'm from Argyle, Minnesota. He goes, well, where in the hell is that? I said, it's in northern Minnesota. He said, what do they do there? I thought it was pretty cute. I said, they make the plaid Argyle socks there. To which his response, quoted, you're full of shit. You know, somewhere today, there's an eagle flying freely in the sky, looking down on this ceremony and saying, you know what, to be an eagle, to have the strength of an eagle, to be able to soar like an eagle, is what we're honoring here today. We're honoring the strength, the beauty, and the passion of eagles. And you know, I would just tell you that there are so many people to thank for what has happened here that will stay in the future of this community forever. And that's the dedication of people that say, you know what, we don't forget our own. And we will continue to memorialize them, to honor them, and to know what they've done for our country and our community. I'm a little saddened to tell you this, but there will be more names that will go to that piece of granite out there. 16 years now, we're in the longest war that our country has been in. Terrorists are getting smarter. More people are trying to destroy our way of life, and they will continue to try to do that. And there will be brave men and brave women that will continue to protect us and protect our freedoms. And we should never forget them, as we do not forget those that we respect and honor today. I tell you what, I joined the Marine Corps for 3 years and stayed for 38. And I was just about getting the feel of it when I left. But it's a wonderful thing to serve your country. And you know, I've got a couple of things. I'm a big hunter. I love to hunt. And the new Secretary of the Interior is a Navy SEAL, and I'm supposed to meet him here in the next couple of weeks. And I'm going to propose a new hunting license. And that hunting license is going to give every individual who buys one a tag. And that tag is the ability to shoot, capture, or wound anybody that touches this flag. And I want to be able to hunt day and night. I want to be able to hunt with dogs. Now, will that get approved? I don't know, but I like the idea. Too damn many people in this country bad-mouthing the country, and they've got the most beautiful country in the world. Everybody asks me, where have you been and which country is the best? Well, let me tell you, it's right here. And it's right in this town where I was raised. And it's just a tremendous honor to come back and to share this with you today. Like Jim said, when we started this whole evolution of putting the monument and the memorial together, I said, whatever day it is, unless I'm fighting someplace or I'm underground, I will be there. It meant that much to me. Now, I would like to do one thing. There's a lot of thank yous to go around, and many of them have been made by the mayor, by Jim, and first of all, the American Legion. You have done a beautiful job of setting this entire program up. And I know a lot of hard work by a lot of people behind the scenes. I've been pretty good now for a couple of days, but I'm going to drink like hell here later today. In the Legion. And spread a little money around for you guys. But there are three people that I would like to bring up and stand right in front of this stage in front of me. I'd like to bring up the commander. And I'd like to bring up his wife. And I'd like to bring up my great friend, Ray Trinkle. And I'll start the story by, Ray lives in California, I live in Las Vegas. Probably about 4 years ago, Ray said, you know, I think we ought to do something, and for the Swanson family, for the Hebert family, and for those that have lost men in support of our country during conflict or in armed action. And hence the start of the memorial. But then it was passed on to the city council, passed on to the American Legion, and Bob Crossman, you come up here as well, because you manhandled that committee of yours. You even threatened me a couple times. Hey, Bob, and I want you to know I have it on tape. And then it goes to the Legion, and the Legion committee comes together, and the Legion commander's lovely wife, keeping track of all the records, all the donations, all the things that are happening, and that's why we have a wonderful memorial today and a wonderful tribute. And please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Thank you very much, and I hope to see many of you later. It's an honor again to be here.